My name is Tyler Sanders. I'm a Senior Solutions Architect at Red Oak Strategic, and today I'm going to be discussing Well-Architected Reviews. Well-Architected Reviews can help your organization best build secure, performant, and reliable workloads on AWS, and partners like Red Oak Strategic can help guide you through the process of making sure that you're using best practices and designing your architecture in a way to get the most out of all of the resources and superpowers that AWS offers. I've been working at Red Oak Strategic for more than 4 years. I serve as a senior solutions architect, and I'm one of our well-architected review guides. Our role here is to work with organizations to best understand the workloads that they are either currently running on AWS or want to potentially bring and build on AWS, and provide our expertise and experience to help make sure that all of the best practices that AWS lays out are being followed in the design and in the production of these applications. In this presentation today, I'll be giving an overview of the well-architected review process, how it works, what it looks like, and what an organization can do to prepare for conducting a well-architected review. I'm going to dive into the pillars of the well-architected framework that AWS experts have laid out and how Red Oak Strategic uses it to work with organizations through an iterative review process to constantly be improving your workloads. And then finally, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the custom Red Oak Strategic well-architected review systems that are best fit to our expertise as data analytics experts and how you can use them to build new workloads with us on AWS. To start, I want to overview the well-architected framework. The first question I want to cover today is, what is the well-architected framework? AWS has so much to work with. AWS is a system of services and tools that organizations use for a variety of different things. There are more than 200 different AWS services, and many of them connect in interesting ways to build powerful applications. The work that you can do, the workloads you can run on AWS are endless, and that means it can be really hard to make sure that you're building them the right way. With anything powerful, there's also risk. When you're storing data or running your applications on AWS resources, you want to make sure that they're secure and ready to go. Regardless of the expertise of your team, you still want to make sure that you are following a guideline, a set of paths or questions that might guide you towards designing things the right way to make sure that you're achieving the goals for your organization. The well-architected framework was designed by AWS and was published in a series of white papers. It's constantly being updated, and it represents AWS's best recommendations for running any AWS workload, regardless of the service, the industry, or its requirements. AWS has released a set of pillars and explanations, in addition to a custom kind of tool or review process called a well-architected review that uses these best practices in a workload-specific context to help you identify issues and opportunities within your workload and work towards improving those over time. The 6 pillars of the AWS Well-Architected framework are security, operational excellence, reliability, performance, cost, and sustainability. Each of these 6 pillars holds within it a variety of subcategories or areas of conversation that it's important that you and your engineers, as well as your business stakeholders, discuss and use in your planning to make sure that you're following these best practices and the design patterns that AWS recommends to help your applications run smoothly, to keep costs down, and to keep your applications and your internal data secure. What AWS has done to help make these pillars more actionable is creating the well-architected review tool. Within every AWS account owners have access to this well-architected tool. It allows you to define a workload that you're running on AWS and then walk through this process of reviewing that workload, its architecture, the resources that run beneath it, and its business goals to make sure that all of these align and fit these best practices. AWS partners like Red Oak Strategic have been trained on using this well-architected framework through the Well-Architected Review Partnership. We have certifications in helping to conduct these reviews, where we bring our expertise as solutions architects and engineers, as well as our experience with the AWS system, to make sure that we can guide you through a review of your applications or in a review of a new workload to help you ask the right questions and get the right answers when you're unsure whether your workload might be following these best practices. The process begins by defining a workload. The question of what is a workload in AWS is an important place to start. Oftentimes, large enterprises run a variety of systems on AWS, and oftentimes these workloads or this set of work is far too complicated and scattered to be well defined as a workload. Red Oak Strategic and AWS define a workload as one signature set of services that are connected into one goal. These workloads, oftentimes companies will have a variety of workloads, and AWS recommends running a well-architected review on each of these individual workloads instead of just a workload itself. This allows you to get specific enough within each of your systems to make sure that these systems are running the way that they are supposed to. It would be dangerous to conduct a well-architected review on your entire account if you run multiple workloads, because even if 9 of your 10 workloads might follow the security best practices, the biggest risk is missing that 10th workload that might, for whatever reason, not fit these best practices. Working with a partner like Red Oak Strategic, we can help talk through the systems that you're running both in AWS and outside of AWS to help define these workloads that are best suited for running a well-architected review. The process of the well-architected review is a high-level conversation with Red Oak Strategic experts and all of the major stakeholders that interact with that workload at your organization. This includes not only technical engineers, the designers and the developers of that workload, but also some of your business leaders who work with that tool, understand the business needs, the risks, the costs, and the process that exists outside of the code that drive the failure and success of that workload. The way that Red Oak Strategic runs well-architected reviews is by scheduling an intro call to talk about defining a workload and understanding and identifying the key stakeholders that are crucial to discussing that workload and getting the right answers as we go through the review. Once that's been set, we like to work in roughly 2-hour increments over a series of calls to discuss some of the main pillars that go into these workloads. We try to bring all stakeholders together at the same time so that everyone can provide their feedback and perspective to make sure that we're answering these questions properly. Within those review sessions, AWS and these well-architected tools provide us with a roadmap for discussing these different pillars. Within each of the pillars, like security and reliability, there are a variety of questions. Each of these questions cover a specific topic within the well-architected framework. For example, in the pillar of security, it's important to talk about your user access rules. What users interact with that system, how can we verify that only the people who are supposed to be interacting with that workload are, and what systems have we put in place to make sure that we prevent malicious actions in the future. What we do at Red Oak Strategic is guide you through these questions. We can help you review in the console or via your logs to try to make sure that you're answering these questions in the best way possible. And we can try to identify opportunities to make recommendations to improve your security posture as we go through these questions. And we can identify some potential gaps or issues or areas of improvement as we go through using this roadmap as a guide. These conversations can be really, really valuable because they give all of your team members an opportunity to talk at a high level about what the goals of a workload are and what sort of risks you're willing to accept when we think about costs, security, or reliability. Once you've conducted a section of the well-architected review, you're able to use the integrated dashboards within the well-architected framework tool to help review the high-risk, medium, and low-risk issues that these well-architected conversations dig up. You're able to export a PDF report as well, which goes pillar by pillar and question by question, along with any notes that you've taken during the review, to give yourself an updated milestone for where you currently stand within your workload in trying to identify where you can move from here to build a better application. Red Oak Strategic, solutions architects like myself and our team can work with you to help truly understand what actions to take once a high-risk issue is identified. We can help set a roadmap and a timeline that's appropriate for that level of risk. We can help you solve some issues immediately to make sure that you're not exposing private data over the public internet, and we can build longer-term plans for slowly migrating your systems to be more efficient or cost-effective as we go through. These roadmaps oftentimes identify systems or situations where users and clients believe that their workload is designed one way, but through our review, we identify something right away that might not be what is expected, and we can help kind of mitigate some of the biggest risks, especially in the area of security, before they have an event. And this is really important. It's one of the most fulfilling things we get to do at Red Oak, helping identify these workload issues and resolve them. And it's a program that we believe all clients and all workloads can benefit from. In trying to expand the use of these well-architected tools, I am excited to talk about some of the expansions and custom reviews that Red Oak Strategic is now offering to its customers. These include a data strategy workload, a database migration custom review, a review specifically of your application security at a much more granular level. We also have new workload opportunities, including a review process for organizations that are looking to start their journey towards generative AI applications or ML applications, as well as a review for organizations who might want to review at a high level where their entire organization or series of accounts stands from a security posture that's beyond a single workload. All of these reviews, these custom reviews, were designed by us at Red Oak Strategic. They follow the best practices and expand on them into specific areas and niche situations. These all fit our expertise and are backed up by certified solutions architects and AWS professionals, trying to distill our years of experience working with customers on a variety of different workloads into a roadmap that new workloads and new customers can benefit from. By using these tools, Red Oak Strategic can help connect you with funding opportunities to save money on your workloads, and provide a great opportunity to start engaging with a partner like Red Oak today. You can review these offerings, Red Oak Strategic's custom well-architected reviews, on our marketplace, and we're always available to talk to you more about what you're trying to build on AWS and how maybe we can assist you in doing just that. Thank you for listening to this presentation. I hope you have a great day. Thank you.